Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where things are starting to get interesting. The Allies are falling apart and are fighting the American Union, and this is great for us. This is absolutely phenomenal. Now, there's a lot of opportunities that we can take here. And we're going to take as many as we can. Are we justifying over here? We are. Another one that I want to justify against is the Republic of Austria, because that would actually get us continuity over here. So let's go ahead and start justifying here if that's not going to take too long. 240 days, I accept it. Okay, so the Republic of Austria may or may not join the American Union between now and then, but hopefully they won't. In the meantime, we are invading Turkey. And so that is underway. We're doing a lot of work over here, and Turkey will fall fairly shortly, I think. Now, of course, there's no more research to do, and we need to look at our number of military factories, but that number is going to be in flux while we are doing this, so that's fine. We're going to continue to attack Turkey. Apparently there are nukes going off in Greece. We're not shocked by this. And in the meantime, we are working on quite a lot of constructions ourselves. Any more that we can do over here? Yes. Shift click and put that right at the top of the queue. Phenomenal. Okay, so with that all going, we're going to proceed here. Turkey will capitulate fairly soon. Is it going to be when Ankara falls? Maybe. Kind of depends on how long it takes Ankara to fall and how well we do on the rest of the front during this time. Now, these guys are moving into Istanbul. That's a big deal. Istanbul will be under our control very, very shortly. And in fact, it is now. So that is excellent. We're very glad about that. This ROK infantry division can be moved into one of our garrison forces, like this one. Wonderful. We are going to need more garrison forces, of course. So that's the thing. But we're just going to continue our way through this. And eventually our garrison forces will start to be less necessary. But for now, it's fine. I'll just leave it as is. We can back off and only defend the borders and things like that. But for right now, this will do fine. But we could definitely make some optimizations on that front. But I'm most interested in observing how the Ally versus American Union war pans out. So far, it appears to be not really very extensive, but I think that's because neither of them were really expecting this to be a thing and didn't really have their troops set up for it. So that's fine. Ankara should fall fairly soon. They're apparently attacking here. Okay. That's not going to be very effective for them. Yeah, they're holding out in Ankara. That's not shocking. We're working our way through a lot of infrastructure construction. We're going to queue up a little bit more over here. Wonderful. So these guys are now on this border here, and that's okay. I'm just going to give them an offensive line of right here. And tell them, get going. Just try to push in along that coast for right now. This is a really awkward offensive line at this point. I feel like we should maybe delete this order and tell them to offensive line up to here. Go ahead and execute that, guys. There we go. That should be slightly better. Wonderful. So, of course, there's all of this nonsense going on. The British Empire is kind of our quasi-friends. We're both fascist, but we're leading opposing factions. So, we're not super okay with them, but they're a little chill. I also would not mind at all justifying on these guys. Now, that's going to take 340 days. So I think we'll wait on that until our other justifications are finishing up. We do have all of these infantry divisions ready to go, and we're going to pop them into this army here. We need 44, so we need another 3. That'll be fine. This war will wrap up fairly soon. That's 3 additional. It's actually perfect. Okay. So now we need 59 here, or technically fewer than that, but we need a lot more in these last couple of areas. That'll be fine. We'll work our way to that. And we're going to need additional units defending Turkey. That's going to be a thing. Romania has expanded. Okay. It's of course Legionary Bulgaria that's ours. Hello, Consul. And we are going to continue our way through here. Turkey will surrender quite soon. They're 85% of the way towards capitulation. We do have a couple additional infantry units, and they will head on out over there. We're technically garrison units is what we have. We've got a nice division here. There's only so many supplies they can push through here. Like 4. They can push 4 supplies through here. So they don't have the supplies to defend this. And we're continuing to push up towards Trebizond. And again, Turkey just doesn't have the ability to hold this. They will fall very shortly. And so they are. These guys are completely pocketed, and they're getting wiped. They have no supplies at all. They are now wiped. And all we need now, I think, is to take Trebizond, and Turkey will fall, I think. Their capital might move one more time, but no, they're going to fall. They're going to capitulate after this. So that will be fantastic. There they go. So, as I said previously, we're going to take all of the states that have resources. So we're going to take these states here. I don't think we care about this one or this one. We want this state. We want this state. We want this over here. Like so. And everything else, I don't think we care about. There is stuff in this state. Okay. There we go. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to puppet them. End our turn. And done. Okay, I'm going to grab 1 unit from here, and we're going to move them into a new army, and that army is going to be told to area defense all of Turkey. Now, how much is this actually going to take? Quite a bit, I'm willing to wager. And we might want to get Legionary Bulgaria in there too, because we don't have anybody actually defending that. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of units. There's no doubt about it. So we're going to do something along the lines of that. That's 123. So I do actually want to think about perhaps backing off on that. But that'll do for right now. And then we're going to go into our Brazilian theater again. Now these guys are heading in to attack the Argentine Republic. Who else are we justifying on? We are also justifying on the Republic of Austria. So I'm going to move these guys into a new army group, like so. And we're going to have these guys, they are going to frontline here. And then these guys, they are going to frontline here. Their goal will be to offensive line something like this. Sure. And these guys will be to offensive line something like this. Okay, they can go ahead and execute that. As far as these guys go, their goal is to simply offensive line to, like, down here. That should, in theory, do the trick. Approximately. Now, our next two. I want to set one of them up for here, with their offensive line being like that. The other unit, I kind of want to set them up like up here. And they can just kind of chill there for now. Excellent. So that's all underway. And the Turkish Empire will do its manpower thing. We can request some garrison support for this. And in fact, we probably should request garrison support from a lot of our puppets. Let's see, that's us. Greater Hungary wouldn't do it. What about Greater Finland? No? Ah, these guys would. These guys would not. Okay, what about Let's see here. This is us. I want somebody like Brazilian Congo here. Yeah, they would help. 400,000 manpower from the Turkish Empire. That's nice. That's very solid. I'm happy with that. What about Korea? They would not. Okay. Who else? I think that's basically it. Maybe Panama. No. Apparently not. Okay, sounds good. So Turkey is now under our control. We're going to immediately begin work on all of our infrastructure over here. Like so. Excellent. Now, we want to low prioritize the infrastructure that is happening in our client state. There we go. Next thing that we're going to want is anti-air. We're going to prioritize that at the top of the list for right now, but that's going to be moved in a moment. So, like that, followed by radar. Oh my. This is a very messy setup, but that's okay. We're going to build a bunch of radar. That's all going at the top of the list as well. This will be reordered in a bit. There we go. Something along the lines of this. Then we're going to queue up the air bases. I'm going to put those at the bottom of the list. We're not too interested in those right now. And we'll get those set on up. Excellent. Any factories? Yes, these go at the top of the list. Unless if they're in our client state. Like that. Wonderful. And then we're going to go for any existing naval bases. Those will go at the bottom of the list. Like so. There's one here and here. Excellent. We want to be able to make sure that we're bringing in these supplies. Along the lines of that. Wonderful. And then we'll do our forts. So we have Bulgaria up here, right? That we don't actually have the ability to control. So we will build forts like so. And then we'll build land forts down along... That was not what I intended to do. We'll build land forts down along here. I don't think we control this, do we? No. Oh, maybe we do. We do. Okay, good to know. We'll do something along the lines of this. Building forts is so laggy, and I don't understand why. It doesn't seem like this should be computationally expensive, but okay. So we're just building all along this border. This is all lowest priority. Okay, is this a land border? I'm going to assume that that is a land border, and we'll build that in. Then we'll build our coastal forts. Anywhere where we can build a coastal fort, we should be building a coastal fort, I think. So we'll proceed along through here. Also here. There we go. We do not want to be subject to an invasion. I believe this is controlled by Greece. Yeah. Which is a little awkward. They can land there and invade via that. Which technically means that we should have a land fort here. There we go. Excellent. And we should also have a land fort here, it looks like. There we go. And we'll continue along this route. Getting all of that nicely queued up. I'm going to unpause while we're doing this, just because we also need to... I actually don't want to unpause, because I don't want to be constructing these things. We need to change our ordering. But I was going to say we want to be ticking away on our justifications. But we want to be moving some things around first. So we are going to do exactly that as soon as we are done constructing these coastal forts. Well, not constructing, but queuing the coastal forts. Want to make sure that distinction is in there. Okay. Top priority for right now, air defense. That's not the actual top priority. Next priority is going to be infrastructure. And then that will be followed by these factories, so that the factories are absolute top priority, followed by the infrastructure. Perfect. That's the correct order right there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue ticking on forward. There's a lot more territory that we can take, but we do want to get a lot of this territory well and truly under control. So I'm going to have this agent here come root out resistance here. This one, root out resistance here, like that. And then we're going to continue to work on that because, of course, we want to bring up our compliance, not our resistance over here. We want to have access to all of that sweet, sweet chromium. That's exactly what we'll do. We can also start doing some of this stuff. That steelworks we can't actually do because it has been modernized through the... I'm not going to try to pronounce that. It needs to be modernized. How do we do that? That's a good question, actually. Do we have a decision for this? No. I'm wondering if that's something that Turkey needed to do in their focus tree. If so, then we can't expand this steelwork, which is unfortunate. Unless we now have access to it in our tree. But I don't think that's how that works. No. Okay, I'll look that up and see if I can figure out what's going on with that. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Let's see here. So, Eregli Steelworks Hoi 4. Okay. Resource prospecting decisions. Fantastic. And let's... This is not actually going to be helpful. Turkey. National focus. Okay, and this is called... Yeah, this is a sub-branch of the Turkish national focus tree that we don't have access to. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever be able to expand this steelworks because Turkey never went that route. We might be able to liberate this state and like give it to these guys and they might be able to do it. But there's no guarantee that the AI would ever actually do that. So that's something to think about. We can, however, increase our chromium deposits, as well as drill in several oil fields over here. And we're going to do both of those. That is wonderful. So we're going to work our way through here. And we have unassigned divisions over here. That's also wonderful. We'll assign those into this force for right now. I want to get that up to at least some level of minimum level. Okay. So we were given a lot of manpower to fill out our garrisons, and that's good. We don't have to do that as much. In fact, currently, no garrison manpower, apparently. That's interesting. But that's fine. We can enact stricter conscription laws to increase that, but I don't want to. That's something that I would prefer to avoid. And at this point, we are justifying on both of these locations. Have either of them joined the American Union yet? No? How is that war going? That looks distinctly like a stalemate to me. Like there's not a lot going on there. Are they still at war? They are. Okay. Well, that's fine. What does Argentina have for resources? They do have some steel. Tungsten. They have some oil. Okay. I feel like we're doing great on oil now that we took over Turkey. Like, we're gaining so much oil at this point. And if we manage to get the Socialist Republic of Kurdistan, that's going to be huge in terms of our oil. But we already have just a lot of oil. So I'm very happy about that. There's definitely a lot of fighting going on. That's for sure. Our war support is quite low. We could run the war propaganda if we weren't affected by the bug. Okay, so we're going to turn on debug mode, and we're going to do, what was that? Decision dot no checks? Yes, that's what it was. I remembered. Fantastic. So this was going to cost, let's actually turn debug mode off. What was it going to cost? I have to do this. It was going to cost 150. Okay. So decision.nochecks enabled. We run that. And then we do political power minus 150. Oh, that's not helpful. I need to remember that my numpad 0 changes the scene. Okay, so we have now spent the 150 political power, and we need to turn off decision.nochecks. There we go. Fantastic. So we'll run that, and that will get us some additional war support. Apparently our trade convoys were being raided, but that should come back up now that we're no longer at war. For now. We're no longer at war for now. So our infrastructure construction is well underway, and that's wonderful. We're going to be spending a lot of political power on resource prospecting for a while here. So that is great. In fact, we're wanting a lot of resources. And we can see here, we're doing absolutely fine on chromium. In fact, we're doing fine on everything except steel. Sadly, we can't develop the steelworks here. But we're getting some resources here anyway. And those resource gains will go up quite dramatically. Syria has capitulated. Will go up quite dramatically as we continue to develop our compliance here. And work on bringing down our resistance. So that is great. And we're also going to build up our infrastructure, which will help that quite dramatically as well. So that is wonderful. At this point, the question is, how long on the Argentinian war goal here? Still a while. That's not going to be this episode, I think. So that is fine. The Austrian war goal is still going to be a while as well. The Polish government has capitulated to the United States. Okay. Now, I do expect that the Allies will lose to the American Union, and the American Union is likely to enter a similar situation that the Allies did before all of this happened. However, there's a lot more independent stuff for us to go after and work on bringing up things like our manpower and our resources. Right now, the resources are the major thing. It does look like we could use a fair number of factory conversions. Specifically, we need 22 factories converted over. Okay, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That number is a bit of a moving target, but we'll do that for now. And we'll check in on that a little later on. So we are running our war propaganda now. We were completely eligible to run that. And we're gaining our 1% war support. Perfect. In the meantime, of course, we are working on quite a lot of simultaneous construction. And let's just get all of this infrastructure built. That will be great. This will be quite a large amount of additional resources for us. And we're supplying a lot of resources to the rest of the world right now in exchange for their civilian factories, which are allowing us to build all of this that much faster. I'm actually very pleased with what's going on right now. I want to continue to grab territories in South America. I want to continue to grab, honestly, kind of anything we can. Ideally, locations with resources. But we're mostly interested right now in just grabbing territory and getting raw manpower on our side. That's our primary goal, because we're going to be facing a lot of enemy manpower. Look at these battle lines. Wacky. Okay, that's because both sides have military access through us. Sure, that's fine. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.